Hi everybody, we've made it to episode 10, yay! I'm really happy about this. I'm gonna make a vessel, and my mom keeps sending me these pictures of pieces that I've made her over the years, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot all about that, I should do that. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a vessel today out of some cane that we pulled, and things are a little weird. I've been home for a while. It's weird how things kind of happen. Sorry about the incense, but I got a job, and it was this great full-time job, and you know, it just so happened that I worked there long enough to be able to receive unemployment. I'm really grateful for that, because right now our state is pretty much like our area. Our state is shut down for 2 weeks. The 2-week quarantine, which may last longer, I don't know. That's part of the reason why I haven't been down here flame working, because my depression really got the best of me, and you know, well, I'm the Stephen King, you know, and I'm like thinking about the book The Stand and how quickly that spread, and there was like 10 people left, you know, or 50 or something. It was, you know, so I don't know. I am a survivor. I will make it. We will make it through. Just follow the rules of the game. Not come in contact with anybody, period. Unless you're a significant other and you guys know you're okay. Other than that, I have not been out of the house. Messing with my medication is what I've been doing. I slowed down on my dosage. I wanted to do that because my dreams were becoming really vivid. But then all of a sudden this stuff happened, and my brain got used to, you know, it started to figure out what I was doing, and it got back to normal. So no more interesting dreams. In the last couple days I had to up my dose back to the normal dosage, and therefore I'm feeling much better, and I feel like I can get back to doing something down here in the good old dungeon. So thank you for joining me, and let's see what falls off the mandrel. Okay, so here we are at the torch again. This is going to be exciting, I hope. And what that is a little piece of silver foil. I like to use silver foil because it's thicker than silver leaf, and it doesn't tend to burn off as quick as silver leaf does. So silver foil is the way to go. And I will start this piece off with a white base, because I'm going to be wrapping this in a silver, so I could have a different color. And depending on what background color you use, the silver is going to look different on most every color that you use. And I just wanted something simple, so the color of the silver would show up real nice. And I'm just adding haphazardly a whole bunch of white, kind of in the shape of what I'm going for, which is a small vessel shape. It's really sloppy, but you know, once you start to roll it out, if you're good at rolling, then you can whip these things into shape real quick. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, so I'm gonna get the little top part of the vessel on. This is a smaller vessel. This is not as involved as my other vessels usually are, but that's okay. Simplicity is sometimes necessary, and I thought it would be nice on this one. I spend a lot of time shaping before I do anything, so I want it just right. But here's the money shot. I love this. Just heating up the glass a little tiny bit, and that silver foil just wraps right on it. And I immediately start to push that silver foil down using a marvering table. Well, that's what I call it, but just it's made out of, what is that stuff called? Anyway, it'll come to me. But here's the thing. As long as I keep burnishing down that silver, it won't, what am I trying to say? It won't burn off as quick. So I burnish all the silver down, and being out of the flame this long is okay because the silver acts as kind of an insulator for the glass. So as long as this glass, you know, isn't out for too long, I have plenty of time to burnish everything down and do what I need to do before I lightly start to heat it up. If I heat it up too much too fast, then all that silver is going to go away, and I don't want that to happen until I have my pattern. And I'm going to go ahead and start my pattern here. You noticed it didn't touch and stick to the glass that time because it wasn't hot enough. And I just had to heat it up. So basically I'm heating up the glass just enough to get the other glass, the dots, to stick to it. And I'm just going to make my pattern here using a dark transparent green, and then I'll move into kind of a limey transparent green, and then at the very end I use the lightest shade of green that they have. It almost looks clear. And I love turning that mandrel around. I like working in the middle. It really helps me out, especially with my shaky hands. All right, so we're almost done with this pattern. And now I can actually start to heat everything in and melt everything down. And that's when you'll start to notice that the silver goes away, but it doesn't. It silvers the glass. So the glass itself is actually becoming fumed by the silver. So it's kind of like fuming itself. And like always, I spend a lot of time rolling and getting the exact shape that I need before I move on with anything. And notice also how my glass, when I heat it up, I try to heat it up very evenly. So when I go to shape it, everything is moving where I need to at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that makes sense to me. So let's move on and use some of that cane. I don't know if you saw the Twisted Cane episode or short film or whatever that was, but this is one of the canes that I made in that little movie, film, video. I like to say movie better. I don't know why, because I know it's just a video, but after making so many of these, it almost tends to be like you're making a small movie. That's what it's like. It's pretty super cool if you have the time to do this. That is taking video, editing, putting the music in, all that stuff. I just pull off just the smallest amount of that glass at the very end of my wrap, and it'll help the way you won't really necessarily see where it wraps back together. Using a knife is very helpful to straighten anything up. And I'm heating up the bottom of that cane and dipping it into some water so it breaks off to a nice flattened piece. Look at how sloppy I was right there. I had to really push that. But that's okay. I ended up making it work for me in the end. And that's what you do when you flame work or when you make art. You make it work for you in the end. You just, hide what you think your mistakes are. And then you don't tell anybody that you made mistakes, and they don't even know. This is so cool. I learned this a long, long time ago. I don't even remember who from, but this is just a great way of making handles, is by just adding dots. and I add little dots to the top and the bottoms of those stocks that I'm now creating, and I'll start to push them together very slowly in the end. But also what I like to do is keep adding the dots until they form a bridge. So you'll see these last dots will actually bring everything together here. And then we can go ahead and start to shape those up. I don't know how much I have cut out of this video because it really was a long one, but I use a graphite, oh, that's what I'm using, yep, a graphite dowel. And I'll just heat the top up and use the dowel. Oh, I guess I didn't even show that part. I'm so sorry, how embarrassing. But I use that graphite dowel to kind of ream open the handles. And now comes the big mistake that I don't even know why I did this. I put these little tiny black dots. It looks cool. I'm not upset, you know, or anything, but I think I could have done something else because in the long run, they kind of muddied up the cane. Not muddied it up, but they kind of cover up too much of the cane. But that's okay. I'm okay with it, 'cause when I flame work, I just, you know, make things, and then a lot of times they just sit there, and a lot of times I'll use them for something, but I only use the best of my best stuff to put out there. So I actually end up with a lot of stuff just sitting around. And then people get mad at me. Why do you have all these beads? Oh my God, you should be selling these. And I just don't know. I'm not really good at doing that. Look at that. Oh, it looks so beautiful right now. And you know, it's really green, but when it's hot, it looks so dark. It's a little bit later on, and let's see what we have in the oven here. Cool. Let's go check it out. And as always, I use a diamond drill bit to clean out the center of my beads and get all of the bead release out. And then we're done.